Hello, Redditors. Hello, Challenge fans. You do not know how good it is to say that again. It is me, Levi Hall. I'm back from my hiatus. And, well, there's one man I have to thank for keeping the ship sailing while I've been away. It's only my co-host, George. George, thank you so much. Brian, Ryan, for everything that you've done while I've been off the podcast.
I wouldn't call it smoothly sailing, mate. I've missed 2. I fucked up the audio on 1. The other few were actually quite all right. It's much better when Brian or Ryan hosts. I've realised I'm definitely not a main character. I'm much more of a supporting character, which I think nicely brings me on to explain this jacket I'm wearing.
Yeah. So what's going on?
So you told me we had to wear Christmas jumpers for this.
Yep, I'm wearing mine. There it is.
Yeah,
it's Christmas jumper.
For the listeners, it literally is a black jumper that says Christmas jumper on it. Whereas because you're a bit more understated and I am horrendously extra, this was the jacket I used to wear to my company Christmas parties to take the piss out of the theme festive glam, because who do we think we are? But then I realized it'd be quite appropriate for this podcast because 1, it's kind of sapphire, and 2, makes it look like I'm about to host the Hunger Games, which is what Bananas used as a put down to Paulie when he kept doing his stupid weird dance at the War of the Worlds 2 reunion. So yes, I will be keeping this on, which will also limit my arm movement, which I think you'll like, because it'll make it easier to edit.
Well, do you want to know an interesting fact that you will never believe?
Okay. You have the same jacket?
No, I have seen one of the Hunger Games movies.
Really? That is weird.
Unfortunately, it was Mockingjay. And there was no hunger and there were no games. So it put me off the rest of the franchise.
Yeah, you kind of went in at the wrong end there.
Yeah. Oh, hello, tree. But yeah, no, thank you so much to you and Ryan and Brian for steadying the ship and keeping everything sailing while I've been away. I've been listening to the podcast. I'm really enjoying them. The 2 of them, Ryan and Brian, did an absolutely fantastic job, as did you, George, as always.
Thank you. I think we need to tell everyone you're back, though, because I reckon I've probably at least halved our listening ship. I think even my mum stopped listening.
Well, we all know why that is, let's be honest.
She's been on holiday with you.
How you doing, Mrs. H?
How was your holiday with my mum?
Oh, it was the best time of my life.
I enjoyed it when you heard that bit. Just like, I think you're in the middle of like traveling somewhere on a train, like, well, that absolutely killed me.
Yeah, I was texting you every bit that I was like, this is really funny. I like this bit. Really enjoying it. It's been really nice actually to listen to it as a listener. It's really helped me through everything that I've been going through. Obviously, I won't go into too much detail, but I'm starting to feel better. It's still hard, but we go through journeys, and mine's a long one, but I will get to the destination in the end, let's just say. And I think one thing that's really important is, if any of our listeners are going through anything, or anyone who's watching us on YouTube is going through everything, talk to someone, talk to your friends, seek help. You're not weak for seeking help. You're strong for acknowledging things and moving forward and helping yourself out of a situation. And I'll just leave it at that. But yeah, thank you for the messages that you sent to our Instagram. And thank you for continuing to listen to the lovely George and Ryan and Brian while I've been away.
Cool. That was beautifully said. I'm not going to add anything. I kind of just wish you said challenges instead of journeys. Yes, got to spit water out. Pod's done. See you later. Right.
That's on the bingo card.
This is quite a special podcast for a couple of reasons, isn't it, Levi? One, yes. You're back.
Well, I think that's probably the least special reason. But also,
you're the most special reason.
After our last podcast, we are now celebrating 10,000 listeners, and not only are we celebrating that, due to the fact that you've missed 2 episodes, we are today celebrating the 50th episode of the Challenge Redditors React / Challenge Redditors React Roundtable podcast.
I see, that was why I did it on purpose. So we have released as many episodes as Nelson has failed to win daily challenges in a row.
Yes, we have. And we have also released as many episodes as episodes of Final Reckoning.
I actually started doing the maths there. Screw you. I rewatched that season the other day. What a slog. Peak drama, though.
It was the older, I call it the Bad Girls Club era of the challenge.
Have you ever, because it was the producer for that one, haven't you? Have you ever rewatched that, or is that one you've never gone back to? Because you hate it, don't you?
I've rewatched the final because you remember
Why?
because remember we had this big thing about is Hunter a champion and what was the graphic and all that. So for some reason, because I'm an idiot, instead of just watching the last 5 minutes of the final, I watched the whole final. But no, it's too much of a slog. And interestingly, it was the last time we saw one of our favorites until he came back last season on Double Agents. That was Devin, who unfortunately got removed because of Corey's judo throw on Tony, should we say? Or Tony's judo throw? Yeah, Corey's on Tony.
Yeah, I think when he was last on, he described it to us as the end of his first challenge career. And now he's having a very, very strong second challenge career, much like Jesus riding from the dead. He also took 3 seasons off. Jesus took 3 days. Oh my God, Devin's Jesus. What's the Jewish equivalent? You don't really have one, do you, actually?
Not really, but...
no, that's the entire point.
Merry Christmas, people. And I think the great thing about Devin is not only is he in the second challenge career, but there is also what we call a tradition in this second challenge career, which is after each season or during each season, he comes on a very special podcast, George. And which podcast is that?
Oh, is it Death, Taxes and Bananas? Because that's great.
It is not Death, Taxes and Bananas.
Is it the official MTV Challenge one? Because that's shit.
It is not the official MTV Challenge one. It is the Challenge Redditors React Podcast. So, George, I hope you've got the alcohol ready, because without further ado, let's welcome the finalist and the man that ran the show on the Challenge Spies, Lies and Allies. It's only Devin Walker. Well, as has become quite the tradition on this podcast, we are welcomed by the one and only, the #1 draft pick, Devin Walker. How are you doing?
Gentlemen! I did it twice. Nailed it. Levi guessed that I would do that in a little pre-podcast for all the listeners. It was probably about, I don't know, plus 3,000 odds that my first word would be gentleman, and he won.
Yep, I won 2 cents after we converted it to American money.
Yeah, exactly. Dollar's not doing great. A pleasure to be back, guys. Thanks for having me. Excited to get into it.
Well, it's always great to have you here, Devin. It's a very special podcast for us. It's our 50th podcast. We hit our 10,000th listener last week.
Let's go.
So,
50th.
Yeah.
That's consistency, boys. Well done.
There's only one way to celebrate, and that is to have the new face of the challenge, the man that ran this season, on the podcast for our traditional season chat. Now, first of all, what has the reaction been like to last night? And also, the most important question, Devin, which 3 George drinking words do you want this time around?
Oh, wow. We're back at it. Okay, final, definitely.
Oh, yeah. Fuck.
Easy. Let's go with TJ. Can it be a name?
Oh, if it's TJ, yeah.
Great. TJ. And then winner.
There you go, George. I've sent them over to you.
Bastard. I had to lead an 8 a.m. call after our last podcast, Evan, and I was not good at it.
I hope. Yeah, what are you on, the vino? That's probably better. That's a more reasonable. I mean, it was an impressive feat. Don't get me wrong. And those were some bold claims in that introduction. I don't know if I'm even close to the face of the challenge, but I am hoping at some point to just get a fucking win and then move on, and that's a long road. These guys that have been doing it, that have won, multiples, that's a long road. It's so hard, man. It's so hard to win. It really is, because of how intense it is mentally. Plus there's, in this situation, 16 other guys that are trying to do the exact same thing that you are. And they're all have their strengths. I mean, it's tough at best, right? If we just are like, everyone's on a even playing field, rank, I guess experience a little bit higher, you're probably looking at 1 in 10, I would say, maybe 1 in 8. So, I mean, it's hard.
But your aim is, as you say, to be the winner of TJ's final. 1, 2, 3, George.
You're such a bastard.
That's an alley-oop. That was an alley-oop.
Yeah.
Woo! What's the reaction been like to last night over on social media to you?
Really supportive. I'm very happy about it. I'm a little hung myself, to be honest. I turned to bourbon there right around Kyle and Nelson's elimination. So it was a rough morning, but it was a really positive and I think kind of shocked response, I would say, because I definitely Devined it up with not being able to move too quick. But I feel like I also Devined it up with like a crazy memory feat and like winning the first puzzle. So it was a pretty on-brand performance, to be fair. And I think the response has been that way.
I think Devined it up is something we're definitely going to use quite a lot in our daily lives that no one is ever going to realize at the moment.
Another T-shirt for Wear Devin Walker.
Oh yeah,
Devining it up.
Why can't I get that? Why can't I get that in the UK yet?
You can't get it. Won't send to you guys in the UK?
Not yet. I've tried.
That's interesting. I'm gonna get Leah on it then. I know they're going to Canada and I know they're going to Australia. So that would be the natural next step. Maybe 2022. I'm going to actually, as the owner of the company, I'm going to guarantee it to you. Yeah, I'm going to guarantee it. I'm going to say 2022, Wear Devin Walker in the UK. You heard it here.
Awesome. I'm going to buy your entire range. Something else I'd like to hear from you. Last time we had you on, you'd just been eliminated with Josh. Josh asked asked TJ if he could punch you in the face now that you were both off the show, which I thought was actually really funny as a leading line. And then the next time we see the three of you, you, Josh and Fessy are all sat in a car together and then proceed to end up running the house with him this season. How did that 180 happen?
That was a great question, and I think honestly, me and Josh are as surprised as it by you guys. But there was one fateful event that occurred. I guess I'll give the whole origin story of Devin and Josh. It starts where you left us, which is we get eliminated together.
It started with a kiss.
It started with a kiss. Not actually, but a metaphor. Yeah. So anyways, I'm the number one person on planet Earth to be eliminated from a game show with. Number one. I keep the energy up. I stay positive. I figure out where it went wrong so that we can get over it quickly and move on. And Josh is not that way. He likes to really feel it. And everyone reacts to losses differently, right? But in that moment, he didn't need to do that because he got blindsided. Thought he was safe, was doing well in that game, was thinking, I'm about to put my biggest rival in this game against my next biggest rival. This is a huge win for me. Wrong. You're fucking eliminated and now you're sharing a room with the kid. So he got robbed.
Sharing a room?
Yeah, we were in one hotel. There were 2 separate beds, but we were in the same living space.
The budget went on TJ's helicopters, obviously.
Yeah, like the TV was in the living room, right? And like we were like in the living room together, like on a couch. And so
brilliant.
I was like, well, we're not fucking doing this. We're hammering beers. And we finished our exit interviews and they had our flights all wild, right? So they had me going to Germany to go to Miami to go to Boston. It's like Iceland's a 5-hour flight. I was like, scratch that, not doing it. I'm staying in Reykjavik. Josh, you should stay too. He stays. We do a few days in Reykjavik, right? Then there's the the Mexico trip with Tori. That's what set it off. That's where we're at. And this is a spoiler. Vacation 2 is happening.
Hey.
A date's been set. So check our socials because we're going back to the same place. And there it was like, we didn't know how that trip was going to go. It was an influencer trip. I was going to Mexico at the same time. So Tori was like, just come here. Josh was going. We had already, hung out in Iceland, but it was in a controlled environment, and we were both like, on our best behavior. So how's it going to go? Goes great. I like the guy. I think he's a nice guy. I think he's misunderstood. I think I misunderstood him, but also I'm a kind of a dickhead. And so like when I don't really get what you're doing, I'm going to kind of fuck with you. But now I get that Josh is just, he really cares about the game, and it made it easier to kind of put the past behind me when I realized not only is he a major asset to me in this game, we're also considered to be pretty much unanimously bottom half of, the talent by the guys in the house. I'm not saying that's accurate, but that's where we rank for them. So it's like, who do we have our best chance at winning against? Probably each other. Well, let's just do it.
And I think it's interesting that you talk about the talent, because we got some brand new talent this season. We had this huge group of rookies, international rookies, US-based rookies. And I know like previous seasons, people would message each other, say, have you had the call? Are you going to be on? Did you know much about these rookies, especially the international ones? Or was it all kind of blind as soon as they came around the corner to smash those bricks with sledgehammers?
I had no idea who was going. I knew Kels was going. That's the only one. Because that show is hilarious. Too Hot to Handle. A phenomenal show. I went right up to him and was like, big fan, love the show, excellent job.
Please don't hurt me.
Yeah. He's a really nice guy, actually. He's a smart guy. He speaks like 3-4 languages, I think. Wow. I don't want to put words in his mouth, but I think he's up there. And I had some convos with him about some like kind of random shit, and he gets it. Mm-hmm. Anyways, he was the only one that I knew that was going for sure. And then we were in the airport with the name that shall not be spoken, Lauren. So we.
I would have only been worse if you said Voldemort, Devin.
I'm on my couch, by the way. Like, I'm really relaxing for this podcast.
I was gonna say, you look chill.
Yeah, it's kind of cozy in here. I got the fake fireplace on, heat's on, So
when you're with the Brits, it's sofa and beers.
I'm also really baked, just for the record. It's only 3 p.m. and I have to do a virtual workout at Marty Party. Okay, check him out in about 2 hours. So I got to get off the sauce, but
I give you a plus 3,000 odds of vomiting during that.
Yeah, no, guys, I'm gonna learn from my mistakes. I'm gonna start getting ripped. Okay. Damn it.
I've seen your arms. You're already there.
Getting there.
You completely lost my train of thought now by thinking about your point. You originally partnered up with Tracy from Germany, which she seemed lovely, but I don't think she had a great performance throughout the thing. But then you got picked up by Michelle as the #1 draft pick after the first elimination. What was your rationale behind? You basically put your hand up, right? Didn't you? Why did you want to get Michelle to pick you?
Couple reasons here, fully transparent. Reason one, and above all else, it's hilarious that I got picked first.
More than once.
First twice.
Yeah, that is first, I think 3 times in a row. But the first time especially, it was really funny. And I knew that would be really funny. And I was like, I also just kind of, it was one of those things where it was like, I'm like standing next to CT and fucking, Corey and Fessy and guys that have gone to finals, done well, Kyle. So it was kind of one of those things where it was like, well, fuck it. Well, how about me? And I also told Michelle in the airport, we were going to be partners. I was trying to convince her because she was like, "Oh, I heard about you. I'm good. Like, I don't really want to work with you." Right off the bat. And I was like, no, like that, like we're actually partners. So I already saw the list, the cast list, and we're partners. So you're kind of fucked. And then, so when I had the opportunity to actually be her partner, and at that point we had talked, I was kind of getting friendly with Tommy, great guy, big Tommy guy. And so, they were obviously working together, and it did also seem like a little bit of an upgrade at the time. Not to trash Tracy. I think she has a ton of potential. I don't think Tracy knew what she signed up for. And I knew that particular partnership was going to require a lot of attention and a lot of energy of like calming her down when she's upset, and she was like, doing a lot of crying, missing home. So like that, if you have to be a partner and you have to use some of your energy that could be used on the game on like that, that's tough. That's why in through the past, we've seen when you're in a pair, especially a co-ed pair, both people have to be fully locked into the game. They have to want to be there, and they have to be good performers. Tracy did not perform badly. She did well in her elimination. We came, I think, in 4th or 5th. She was a really good listener. She had a high upside. But the shock of the situation, I think, got to her a little bit. She's a timid person, 37 or 36 of us, 2 quarantines. It was just like, it was a rough situation for her. So Michelle didn't seem to have any problems, and she was, feeling good, I think, with Emmanuel. So I was like, get me in there. Like, let's play.
And it's interesting that you mentioned 2 quarantines. And I don't know if you're allowed to talk about this or not, but, it's very common knowledge that there was a COVID outbreak on set. You all had to go back into quarantine. Did that change the game at all? And was that when this Vets Alliance was fully created and fully formed?
No. Vets Alliance was Corey's birthday party after the reunion for Double Agents. That's when that happened. 100%. Absolutely no doubt. Great party, by the way, Corey. If you're listening to this, excellent party. That's where it all started. And we all just kind of looked around the room, and we were like, oh fuck, we're all getting along now, and like this is really fun, and almost all of us are gonna go and do the next one. Yeah, no doubter. Let's just do this. And then it was the perfect storm. They were like, okay, 14 people that really get along and have experience in the game. Here's 17 rookies that have no fucking idea what they're doing. And half of, not talking shit, speak English as a second language. So just the understanding of the rules of the game as they're being, described, they're going to have to count pretty much on you to tell them what's going on. So here's that silver platter. Try not to fuck it up. And it's like,
it basically sounds like feeding time at the zoo for lions.
Well,
When
I
first saw the crop of rookies, I was like, this actually could turn out to be quite a good battle if someone takes command of them. If you get like
but they just couldn't go on the same page.
Yeah, a gauntlet vibe going would have actually been quite interesting. But then it just eventually became sad, Devin. It was hard to watch as a viewer.
I hear that, and I formally apologize for the lack of entertainment of the rookie massacre. But I mean, Millie on the line. We're all out here, trying to do our best to get it, and there's no way they ever could have teamed up. No. Even though it was 1915, right? Because it was all international rookies except for Kyle and Big T.
Yeah.
And then we had some rookies on the American side.
You lost Nam even, I think, before the first episode, didn't you?
Oh, that made me so sad.
Yeah,
he's just such a nice guy.
Yeah, Nam's the man. Nam never made it in, and so then he was replaced with Ed. So that would have been, by definition, a member of the Veteran Alliance, and then that was replaced again by another rookie. But from the jump, literally from the jump, they would have had to win the first challenge. Like a strong rookie that wanted to take charge. Logan was going to go with Anissa. They would have had to win the first one. then they would have had to all get together and say, listen, I know that you just picked this person that is a veteran as your partner. Fuck them. Even though they have a ton of experience and they're going to help you, we're all going to come together and try to pin them against each other. And like, I know that this person's going to help you, but that's what we're going to do. It would have never happened. These aren't like rookies that knew each other. These are rookies that have never fucking met. They're looking at us just as much as a stranger as the person next to them on the bus, because we're talking like Nigeria and Romania, right? Like there's no more of a difference between us and them as there were between them and each other, because they had never met.
Can I ask a question? Because you mentioned that the Veterans Alliance started at Corey's party after the reunion. Was Amber at the party? Amber B?
Amber was at the party.
Because she felt very on the outs. I know obviously she came in late, but she didn't come in that late. And she's a champ and you all had a good relationship. I mean, we've had her on the podcast. We have a good relationship with her. She mentioned she roomed with you and Kyle and CT. Why did she seem so removed from the Vets Alliance?
I don't know. I think she won, and then she went on some podcasts and she had some spiteful remarks that I think particularly Casey and Fessy really took to heart. I think also, to be fully candid, built partially in jealousy of like, we kind of helped you get here and then you won and now you're kind of bad mouthing the Big Brother Alliance or whatever. So that's all the reason enough they needed. And then on top
that
of
may
that,
have been our podcast, you know.
I think it was us. That's why I look so awkward.
I think you guys are probably the culprits here. So
Shit.
I like Amber. I tried to make her feel included as much as possible. And I knew, I mean, she's a writer. She wanted to, right some of the wrongs that I think she knew that she had to do to win last season. And so she was, in my opinion, going to play a pretty straightforward game. I will not say that about her in Double Agents. She did not play a straightforward game. I was hesitant to work with her this season, but I like to clean slate it. And I didn't see a lot of the same, especially getting to room with her and getting to know her a little bit better, just like through daily activities in the house. She didn't seem like she was playing the same game. So I was going to trust her. But that's one of, what was it, 15. And a lot of those girls that were there, only one other girl, Ashley, had won. I refuse to know as many women as I know in my life and to believe that jealousy is not a factor in that equation. I refuse to believe that.
I can neither confirm nor deny. I love all women.
I'm a big woman supporter, but there are some tendencies that I think it would be ignorant of us not to point out. And one of those, in my experience, happens to be a little jealousy. And when a rookie comes in and wins, you might experience that.
Yeah.
That's not just, I'm jealous of anyone with a fuller head of hair than me, but moving on slightly quickly. The fact that you were partnered with Emmy and Amber, though, I reckon your hair looks great, Devin. It's fine. You don't need to play with
it. Play away, Devin.
But because you have I think Emmy and Amber are pretty much the only two contenders for Rookie of the Year from their seasons. Who comes out ahead for you? Because they've had completely different seasons, but both equally impressive to us.
Fire question. You guys are getting good at this. You really are, boys. Well done.
It's because I'm slightly more sober this time.
I'm not.
I can see you this time.
The words are clearer. Okay.
Devin, can you just quickly say TJ winner and final, please?
Oh yeah, the winner of the final is TJ. He wins.
Damn it.
Drink away, George.
Nailed it. So I gotta go. Oh, fuck, that's tough because she won though. So yeah, Amber won, but the 2 eliminations that she went in, it was back-to-back hall brawls, right? And one was,
and it was Amber M and Big. I think still our favorite summary of her hall brawl against Amber was you just saying no one wants to see 2 Ambers in a hall brawl.
They were the same direction. I'll never forget that.
Never seen someone lap someone in a hall brawl.
I didn't know you could. I was like, the game is not intended for. It doesn't make any sense. So then Emmy's 4 wins, but a 3rd place. I'm gonna go Emmy, and I'll tell you why.
Mm-hmm.
If Casey's with me and Emmy's with CT, I don't know if they win, but they would have been, if they didn't win, which they might have. It would have been very fucking close because I was slowing her down. I will fully admit this. Emmy was moving up that mountain much faster than me. I wonder if CT had been pushing her, if she could have kept pace and memorized, 8 of those numbers and given him 12. I think they could have done it. So it's hard to give it to Amber when she had CT as a partner and Emmy had me as a partner.
I think for me,
realistically, so I'm going to go Emmy.
I think for me, you look at their rookie season and you go, we love Amber, but I think Amber played a perfect rookie season to win, but she could never, ever, ever, ever play that same season again because people now know what she can do in a final. Emmy can play the exact same season every single season and still get as far as she gets. And I think that's what separates the two of them.
Emmy just put the fear of God in these girls. You go 4-0 in elimination. This is what Cam has on people too. It's just a mental edge. I think Cam's 11-1 or 12-1.
If you don't count the final reckoning redemption messes, I think she's on. Oh, you're right. 10-1.
10-1.
That's a ridiculous record.
Yeah,
that's better than Laurel's.
Those are. I mean, hard. A lot of those are hard fought too. So she, I can see Emmy taking that Cam path. They actually have a lot of similarities. Emmy's another one. Emmy is smart, bro. She probably speaks 5 languages legitimately. She can sing in English, rap in Romanian, rap in Spanish, and then speak eloquent French.
Jesus,
it's insane. So she's smarter than people gave her credit for. We saw what she can do in eliminations. And like Cam, she speaks her mind and she is not fucking afraid of people.
Yeah.
So she will just be like, all right, you want to go down there then and settle it. And so they have that kind of mindset mentality in common.
I feel like depending on how busy she gets with her music career, she's a challenge mainstay. She was unbelievable this season.
I don't know how you don't. I would be just blown away if she's not a recast.
Yeah.
What else do you have to do at that point? At that point, I would be like, okay, well, then it isn't about being hilarious, winning eliminations, going to a final, or being, a well-rounded, diverse character that's young and can show growth. It's not about any of those things. All right, well, I don't know what it is.
And also, she does it for her grandma and she does it for Romania, and we can't take that away.
We have to keep doing it for Romania.
And grandma.
I think I don't know if that's a potential
Romania for me.
Yeah. I don't know if that's potential We Are Devin Walker t-shirt. We're doing it for Romania, just completely out of context. I think that'd be really funny. And then just in brackets, and don't forget grandma.
I love that George and I are basically trying to push to be brand spokesmen for Where Devin Walker at the moment.
I've got better looking friends. If you need models, that's fine. Sorry, Levi, that was a cheap shot.
You do. I've seen them.
Yeah.
You want to know? We might need some more brains in the think tank, boys. So we'll keep you posted. Who knows? If we expand to the UK, maybe we're gonna need some employees.
Well, that would be a flashpoint in our lives. But we've got some flashpoints from this season to ask you about, Devin.
Strong segue.
And just for a laugh, there's no kind of rhyme or reason here, but George just has to drink every time I mention one. So for every flashpoint, have some wine. The first one, and this one broke our
I have to
heart.
go get my booster jab at 7 a.m. tomorrow, you fucker.
Get vaccinated, people. So this one broke our heart. Kyle eliminating you from Undercover Comms. What the hell happened?
Oh man, that was tough. I don't know, man. It's just one of those situations where I think that the plan went out. I think it's a combination of what I thought and what he said. He said that he just kind of freaked out and did the wrong thing. I think it's a little bit of that. I think it was a little bit of, I want to win. Devin's in the lead. He's got to go. Him or me. You know what I mean? And it's a daily challenge. It's not a huge deal. So I think it was just all those things. But it ended up that there was a trickle-down effect from that. And I think we all saw it. And it was that once those marks start getting made from the other cast members looking at it, then there's the situation where he takes where he does the dynamite. I think then he takes Nelson's spot. And those things weren't that bad. Again, a potential honest mistake, and then someone just doing the ability they earned by winning an elimination. But they start to go in the same category, and it's like, okay, he did this to Devin, he did this to Nelson, he did that, and then once that happens so many times, you're in trouble. And he outran it this time. He did. He was able to come correct. I mean, you win 3 eliminations, you're probably going to the final.
Yeah.
So that's what he did. And those are the 2 styles of games you can play. Come and get me, right? Which is kind of what he did, or fly underneath the radar. And I think the funny part is, I think Kyle wants to play a fly under the radar game, but he ends up playing a come and get me because he makes he's not a good critical thinker in the heat of the moment.
Yeah.
If he's telling the truth and these things are just heat of the moment situations, which I have no reason not to believe him, then he is not just good in under pressure, on a team, because we've seen him under pressure by himself in one-on-one, but he's not good at following a plan under pressure with a team.
But is Dial still strong? That's the important thing.
What's that?
Is Dial still going strong? That's the important thing.
Just wait till you see. I don't know if you'll see it actually. I don't know if I can even say this because it's a secret. It's a secret present. I got Kyle's dad a secret present for Christmas.
You're assuming quite a lot of influence that Kyle listens to this.
Yeah, I'm not sure he does.
Yeah.
Have you got Cal anything?
Just saying.
Yeah.
Callum?
Yeah.
Big Callum guy. I made him a whole birthday.
You love him so much.
Which you've never done for any girlfriend, but you've done for Kyle's brother.
Yeah, I did one for Wes too the other day. I got the same response. Allison was like, hello.
Speaking of people you love, there was another flashpoint. Josh, your bestie, and Fessie's argument that led to Fessie being removed from the game. What was your opinion on that? There was a great moment where you were like, let's just go down to the chamber because I'm not letting TJ decide what's going on.
Oh, you should have seen my ass when they said, Fessie, you've been deactivated. Everyone starts crying and they're doing this slow walk to do a big group hug. My ass hit him with a reverse pivot. I was fucking down there right away. I was ready to go in there and vote and let's get this show on the road. I don't know. They came on the bus. The executive producers came on the bus beginning of the season. They said it's a 0 tolerance policy. Absolutely cannot assault anybody in any way. Can't do it. So everyone was properly warned. I don't know what the difference between the face mush and the glass throw is. I'm sure that they looked at it 1,000 fucking times. It's like a replay on, a sporting event.
Yeah.
I don't know. I wasn't
VAR.
I saw it super quickly. They put it in slow motion and looked at every little detail and had a team of fucking lawyers do that and pretty much make a decision is how I envision it to go. It's they're okay, here's the thing. So I don't know. I mean,
A lot of the
Go
Reddit
ahead.
was saying that it could have had something to do with the fact that after the mush, when the hand got pushed away, it hit a security guard. And, that's a potential lawsuit and all that.
I can see that being the case. I didn't get a reasoning on it. And I just assume that with this much money on the line, and I mean, it's not like they like really love Josh and they don't like Fessy. Like Fessy's a big part of the show just as much as Josh is. So I don't see that being like they would have picked sides situation. I think that was probably just made by a legal team. So I don't know. I really have an opinion on it.
Another flashpoint. There were a lot of rookies, as you said, that kind of followed what you were all doing. One person that didn't follow suit was Priscilla, who I felt was like a kind of sleeping giant the whole way through, a silent assassin waiting to do a big power move. What was your reaction when she did that power move to switch up the game? I feel like you would have felt a lot of respect for her.
I did, but then also I yelled at the top of my lungs, every party has a pooper, and the pooper is you.
I'm using that.
Why did that not make the edit?
I don't know.
That's gold.
I'm not sure. Yeah, that's a saying here when someone wants to leave the bar or whatever.
Is it a saying you could put on a t-shirt, Devin?
Oh yeah, I don't know if that one's mine. It
is now.
Yeah, it could be. Hashtag copyright WDW. Big Priscilla guy. She kind of fucked up though, because that could have been her in that final. That 100% she could have been in there. She got Ashley on a memory puzzle with the whole crowd helping her. So if you look at the eliminations after that, moving forward, she's got a chance in every one of them. And if she hadn't have done that, we had made a deal with her. Don't do this. Leave us alone, and you're good. Like, she got the best deal offering that anyone had ever gotten. But I think Corey and Nelson had gotten in her ear about, we're just going to tell her to do this and then stab her in the back. Because at that point, Corey was, in fact, he's admitted to this. I'll get to this in a minute, but this blew my mind. He was trying to get people, rookies, together, right? And Priscilla was one of those people. And I think he went on, maybe it was Johnny's podcast. And it was like, yeah, I started wrangling the rookies because I knew that they were singling me out. But then we're all like, okay, well, we're singling you out because you're wrangling the rookies. So we had a massive.
Because you're really good.
Yeah, and because you're good, we had a massive fucking chicken or the egg situation where it was like, okay, you're admitting to the thing that we were targeting you for, but you're saying you were doing it because we were targeting you. That's not a good excuse. Like, you can, why if you it didn't make any sense. So, anyways, Priscilla, I think, took a little bit of that bait, but she's somebody that would have been in a very good position in that game because she was making good deals. She was making good friendships. And we were in a situation where those teams were going to start shifting around. And once Ruby lost Priscilla, that's when we saw the plummet. She would have helped. Ruby would have won if they had Priscilla on their team for one of those missions, because they were all really close and a lot of them had to do with numbers, admittedly, and they were outmanned. So if she had been there, we would have had a very different season.
And then the other flashpoint, just Amanda being Amanda.
Yeah, Amanda. I mean, I am a big Amanda guy. I've got to say, I love 85% of her. She is fiercely loyal. She's a single mom, fucking nurse. She takes care of her sick dad. She is a really tough person. She doesn't have time for horse shit. But she consistently creates problems and then overreacts to the problem that she created. And that is, I believe, what the kids would call nowadays a toxic trait. I'm not
but
sure.
no, I've turned 30 recently. I'm fully aware that I'm just going to be sat in a chair for the rest of my life drinking wine.
And I'm 34, so I don't know what the kids say anymore.
Yeah.
I believe that's a thing. So I love Amanda 85% of the time, but I do think that she can be a little bit mean-spirited, and also she creates problems, and that's not a great combination, because she does say like pretty mean shit to people, and I think that she's serious when she says it. So I'd like to just see her move past that part of it, because she doesn't. I know and Amanda makes TV. She makes really good TV.
Yeah.
Amanda is complex enough to not have to do any extra shit, and she is problematic enough to find plenty of genuine fucking problems that are gonna come her way one way or the other. But she does intentionally, like we call it stirring the pot. I do it all the time. She does it, and she does it a little bit.
It's different the way you do it.
It seems like hers is a little bit more malicious pot stirring. And that's how she plays, and she's very good at this game. I hated voting her in, but that is Amanda. She makes great TV, and you got to take the bad with the good, and when the good outweighs it. And I think in Amanda's situation, it does for me by a lot. But I can see where people would get rubbed the wrong way by her. She told Cara Maria's horse to die.
Yeah.
Hilarious to me. I thought that was a funny thing to say to somebody. If you're joking, but not if you're like really trying.
Yeah.
Not if you mean it.
To tell you a secret, we tried to get her on this podcast. She very, very politely declined. But the way we tried to get her, we said me and Levi would dress up as a horse and the devil.
I'm not proud of it. I'm not proud. We get desperate.
It didn't work, but I thought it was very funny.
That's a fire offer, to be fair. I'm sure I can turn that down. Yeah, but Amanda, I got a soft spot in my heart for Amanda. I really do.
Something that this season had to have more switches and like blindsides and changes to the format than anything else I've seen. So I imagine eventually you just
who switched it, George? Just out of interest, who switched it?
I think it's the host. You sarcastic little shit.
Who's the host, Devin? Please do it for me.
TJ.
Oh yeah, okay, there it is. TJ. Yeah.
God,
have some vino.
That wine's nearly gone. Jesus Christ. But the thing we didn't notice until after was that the Cutthroat logo was in the puzzle challenge during the Jeremiah and Amber elimination. And what did you think of a twist going from pairs to teams again? I don't think you've ever been on team season, have you?
I didn't even know that is the Cutthroat symbol. That's like a toxic waste thing.
Yeah. So Cutthroat was the only season that's had 3 teams. Yeah. And the Reddit was all over it.
An eagle-eyed Redditor found it in 6 minutes after the episode finished.
Did they see it on the car spinning challenge?
No, it was in the elimination.
No, that was on the car spinning challenge too.
Oh, was it?
And it was also the thing they were scratching off when you did the challenge to become teams.
It was part of the code that we had to. So it was one of the symbols that went to one of the numbers.
So they were subtly throwing that in the whole way through.
Yeah, fucking eureka moment. Gentlemen, I'm telling you, investigative journalism. You guys are getting really fucking good at this. What was the question?
I'd so watch a show where the 3 of us solved crimes badly.
Hell yeah.
Basically, the switch from pairs to teams, like, were you happy? Were you thrown? I don't think you've ever been on a team season. Like,
I wasn't happy about it when I had a fucking 45-minute head lead in the final, and then it was gone, and we turned into pairs. I wasn't stoked about it at that point. So
yeah,
but it benefited me at other points. So that's another situation where if you get like irritated or annoyed as a player, I understand as a viewer it's different. You want to, I imagine it was probably a little bit difficult to follow. But as a player, if you get annoyed by that or thrown off by that, you are not gonna fucking ever win a challenge. You better be ready to switch your shit up right away, which is why you want to have evergreen strategies, right? Use this term in marketing and all sorts of things. And it means, able to work in many different settings or periods of time. Those are the strategies that you need in the challenge. They can't be related directly to your partner. They can't be related directly to, your team or whatever. You have to have a wider sense. You have to have those evergreen fucking strategies, or else when those twists come, you're fucked. And we saw that. It really does. That is the kill shot for some people in this game, is they're in a good position. The next day they aren't, and they're not adaptable.
I think I'm going to throw a segue to Levi here. You said evergreen. Do you mean emerald? And Levi, I think you have a question about emerald.
Yes, I do. Thank you very much, George. So you seem to run the game from day one, and then even more so, Devin Walker, you were the de facto leader of the Emerald Cell. And I kind of think back to Rivals 3. You tried to kind of rally up the Are You the One team to go at bananas. One of the Dario brothers fucked the whole thing up. And you have always come across as someone who can run this game. So what was it about this season's cast that allowed you to do that? Or was it something about you and like your relationships with them that allowed you to do that this season?
This is what happened. As I mentioned, with Kyle doing, some things, and they start to stack up, right? Throughout this season, people say I'm not a competitor, an athlete. I'm not, someone that's going to pose much of a threat, right? Always take a couple dailies, and I never fucking come in last. Mm-hmm. And I think when people see that happening over and over and over again, maybe even subliminally, they start to think like, okay, this kid belongs here. And he must be, because we think he sucks physically, he must be making up for that with something else. And that's got to be strategy. So when it comes to time, I think they make that own dissertation in their minds, like, again, potentially subliminally thinking, okay, how is he still here? He must be fucking good at something. And it's not, he doesn't have big muscles. He can't run fast. So that they automatically chalk it up to like, I must be smart and good at strategy, which I think is true. So when I'm on a team like that, I'm also like a pretty natural vocal leader. I played, believe it or not, fucking varsity sports, was a Division I lacrosse recruit. Like, I have an athletic background. I just drink a lot of fucking beers now. But anyways, they see that, and then they kind of feel that like experience that I have leading a team, and it's a good idea. And then we win. And once that snowball starts rolling downhill, it's like people will even come to you and ask you, what do you think about this or whatever. And that's when I knew, especially with the Emerald Cell, when it was kind of like, okay, well, what are we going to do? Right? Tell us, deploy the strategy. That it was like, all right, we're in a good spot, because if I can regularly figure out the most efficient way to do something, and when you've got someone to analyze what's the most efficient, and then some workhorses and some speed and some critical thinking, that team was just like, it was the whole package.
You just had everything in both the boys and the girls. You had everything for the game.
Yeah, and it was anytime there's large groups of co-ed teams on the challenge, it comes down to the females and their performances, because for the most part, most of the guys are going to be able to keep up with the girls to an extent. Like Tori, Casey, Nani, Emmy, they are faster than me up a hill, 100%. But they're not fast enough for me to really slow down a team. Like, it's going to be a little bit, but I can keep pace. It's really them versus the other girls on the other teams. And we had, in my opinion, probably three of the five best. We had the top two for sure. We had three of the five best in this game on one team. And that, I mean, you get 1, 2, and you throw Nani in probably in that 4 or 5 spot, because based off of this performance, I think Emmy earned that probably 3 seed. then you go Nani in the 4 or 5. You put 1, 2, and 4 or 5 on one team, you're kind of fucked.
And Nani's always been good at long distance. Like free agent, she nearly beat Laurel. She's never ever embarrassed herself on that kind of thing. And her social game is next tier. So
yeah, she was a valuable asset on that team. And Nani is really good listener, and she's got fucking heart, and she can go for days. And if you give her a good direction, right? Like Casey's really good at giving direction. I'm pretty good at giving direction. Tori can, like lead people. So Nani, Emmanuel, and Josh kind of just taking those directions with us kind of looking at it and also being able to help. Yeah, it was the perfect storm.
Speaking of Tori leading people, George, I think you've got a great question coming up now.
That is actually very, very true. That was also going to be my segue. Levi, we spend too much time together. And
it's great.
It is. So you avoid elimination the entire season. You then got called out by Emmanuel. You then saw it was a puzzle. And then you saw Tori giving him a hand. Can you talk us through your thought process for the night of eliminations? And were you annoyed or yeah?
So I won.
Yes.
Yes, you did.
So,
thanks to the quickest second puzzle I've ever seen since I was a 4-year-old doing jigsaws.
Also, a lot of respect because CT tried to tell you and you said, no, I'm doing this myself. So much respect to you for that.
Well, I really wanted to get to the final. And I really wanted to run TJ's final, and I really wanted to be a winner.
Yeah. 4. I think that was 4.
Yeah. So
yeah, damn
it. Sorry about that.
That's quite all right.
No, you're not, Devin. You're not sorry.
Anyways, yeah, that was kind of a. Hey, that's better than the full bottle of fucking 40% you had last time. Tori doing that was hurtful to see it back, but to her credit, she's fully apologized. Not even that I don't think it was necessary in the way. I know she's genuine in her apology. I know that she feels badly about that. I know that Tori is somebody that really finds a strong and fast connection with people. And that she would say that is one of her best attributes, and also something that has caused her problems, right? Because she has fast and strong connections with people, and especially in that setting where you're literally living with the person, right? All the time, you're with them all the time. That was a difficult position for her to be in. A little bit more difficult than I think it should be, yes, but I don't have her brain. And so I can't, make that I guess, decision for her in that moment. With that being said, it's a game. I got 2 options. I'm about to go into the final. I can let it go, or I can dwell on it and let it eat my energy.
Yeah.
I had to let it go 100%. I'm glad that I did. I trust Tori in this game. I'm going to continue to trust her. I think it was just, in my opinion, I think that was kind of a fluke. And maybe I'll be proven wrong on this. I hope that I'm not. Maybe I will be. But I don't see a situation like that happening again.
And that's good to hear. And with that win, as you said, you made it to the final. George, have a drink. But before we talk about the final, have another drink. It's time for the game we always play on this podcast when we have a guest, word association. And this time, we want you to word associate the rookies who you removed from the game. So let's start with the one that you didn't remove from the game, and that is Rookie of the Year, Emmy. What word have you got to describe her?
Baby plum.
The one that you literally removed from the game, Emmanuel.
Oh, nice.
Dracula.
Your beer buddy, Ed.
Loud.
I was so hoping when you said L, you were going to say Labrador. It just reminds me of a dog.
What about the only person who can rival J-Lo's booty, and that would be Huey?
Huster. Oh, City boy.
And
It's, one of my favorite things you said in one of your pre-interviews was about Huey's got a phenomenal ass. That's a wagon he's dragging.
Yeah, he's dragging a wagon. Absolutely.
And the last one, possibly the hottest man to ever be on the challenge, Logan.
Logan San Pedro. Not a Logan fan, eh?
Joss is hotter. Me and
Who's
Levi
hotter?
argue. Me and Levi argue.
Joss is hotter.
You've been on a show with both of them. Who's hotter, Logan or Joss?
I mean, that depends. That they are two. You want to talk about two different guys? Those are two different fucking guys.
What about through the eyes of Devin Walker?
Taste.
They would have a great time together. I'm going Logan San Pedro.
Oh,
Yes. The debate is over, George.
But the thing is, you got to see this guy in action. He was the best pool player in the house. He was the best chess player in the house. He has a tattoo of a little hook and a little fish around his leg because he caught 130 fish on Survivor.
Jesus.
So yeah, to the point where he came in second because it's a national voting thing there. So everyone voted for the girl because Logan he stopped like sharing his food and stuff. So the country like voted for her. But the kid's good at everything.
Yeah,
he really is, and he's a really nice guy, and he's again somebody that's pretty fucking smart.
Yeah. Also, great rookie season. 2 elimination wins, couple of dailies. Like, deserves a callback, I think.
Really
despite him not being that hot. Fuck off, Levi.
He eats it too. Like he takes L's on the chin and just keeps pushing forward. And like he's got a great perspective, real happy guy, and he just like enjoys life. He's a cool guy. Not that Josh isn't, but that's a lot of working out and not a lot of drinking beers and hanging out, I think.
And we know what your priority is.
Yeah.
Just saying.
I have a question about that later, actually. But let's get to the final.
Drink.
Oh, fuck's sake. Levi, ask the question to save time.
Really interesting final because we weren't really told much about it from TJ at the beginning. How did you feel about lining up and it being an individual final? Did you think that'd be the whole final? And did you think it was a winner takes all final?
I honestly wasn't even thinking about anything aside from stay adaptable, pace yourself, and you got a fucking chance. I firmly believe I had a chance. And again, day one winner. Let me break this down for you guys, okay? We're individual, right? Okay. We do our individual portion of the final. I have a 45-minute lead on CT. I have an hour lead on everybody else. I probably have an hour and a half lead on Nelson and Kyle. They were at that puzzle forever. Okay. I was sitting there. The next closest was CT at a minimum. I'm going to bring it down at a minimum half hour. Then we're on the same team. So my time is not getting any worse than his. At that point, we beat the other team. So I've extended my lead from everybody on that team, and I've kept the identical lead that I had to everybody on my team, which again, after drastically dragging it down, is a half hour on the next closest person. Then we go to pairs, and that gets thrown out the fucking window, and I come in third by 8 minutes. So yes, I would slow up that fucking mountain, but I wasn't slower up the mountain than the time I made up in the puzzle. That's what I'm fucking saying. So if it had been a cumulative time, winner.
So we'll go with honorary winner like Hamilton against Verstappen. That's not going to translate to many people. One of my favorite moments of shithousery through the entire season was you telling everyone it was a purge when they were still working on puzzle because you're a complete bastard. But do you think is that why you were?
That is classic Devin Walker.
Yeah. Do you think that's? There's not much for you to say on this, but just how did that pop into your head and what you were hoping to achieve?
Well, first of all, I was fucking hot because there was no shade, and I'd been there for 30 fucking minutes. So I just started yelling random shit. But I was saying some wild shit. But yeah, I mean, I was standing there on that platform, getting roasted, and I'm like, we gotta, move this along. I legitimately did an entire photo shoot in my mind on that platform. I was changing poses. I was out there killing time. But that was, somebody, I forget who said that. But I saw it. It was like Devin was yelling at the purge from the podium. And I can assure you that is accurate.
Speaking of purges, though, there was a purge because obviously the losing team, because Nelson can't do geometry, was, Nelson, Kyle, Casey, and Nanny. So they had to then go against each other in elimination. First of all, did you think Kyle would beat Nelson? And second of all, how emotional was the Nanny and Casey elimination? Because one of the things that we really liked was the way that they portrayed Nanny and Casey's relationship, and they did it in such a respectful way, and they genuinely seem to love each other. It's really nice.
I'm a big, what are we calling them, Nacy or Connie?
I like Nacy.
Nacy sounds nice. Connie sounds like something I'd find on my foot if I'd been trekking barefoot for ages.
All right, we'll go Nacy then. Yeah, I'm a big Nacy guy. Think they're great, and I can, from my lens, authentic relationship, and they do really love each other, and I was glad to see that come through as well. I mean, you saw my reaction. I told Dave to wrap it up. I said, you can't cry. You gotta save your energy. That's honestly how I feel in those moments. This is sad. I understand that. Like, just when Fessy left and everyone was sad. No, I gotta finish the fucking drill here. So this is the game we play. I don't want to say that I'm numb to it at this point, but also I definitely recognize that it is a game, and we knew that was coming. We knew. So if it sucks, because when it's a lose-lose, and it's no matter who wins, someone that I played this entire game with, who's had my back this whole time, is going home. It's the immediate sadness kicks in. But then no matter who it is, I would have felt the same way, which was, we got to get this done. I want to win, and I don't want to sit here and feel sad. So I felt sad last night watching it back, but in that moment, tunnel vision.
Yeah. It's the mind of a winner. Sorry, thirsty.
Or a double bronze medalist.
Yeah. But you mentioned it came down to the pair game, and so something that we've said a lot throughout this season is we can't understand why no one threw CT in, just because your odds against him in the final are terrible. Was there
answer that for you?
That's what I want to know. So take it. Can you just explain why you didn't? Was it the format? Was it just friendship?
So you are looking at the reason.
You protected him.
I didn't. CT protected himself, but I protected the Veteran Alliance, and the first person that would have been shot at. I protected the Veteran Alliance to protect me, because once everybody starts fucking taking pop shots, I become collateral damage. Because someone goes down there, or someone's friend is going down there, and they want to give them the best chance at winning, and they fucking pick me, and now I'm down there, and I have to either A, shock the world, which I do literally 80% of the time, or B, fucking lose and go home. So I don't like those odds. I like 100% safety odds. And 100% safety odds were Veteran Alliance. So when all these conversations are happening about target CT, target CT, target CT, I'm thinking, absolutely not. He's going to win dailies. If we're loyal to him, he's going to be loyal to us. He's worth more than he is a grounding figure in this game. With him, the veterans keep winning. We keep doing well. And then the format switches. What are we're gonna put him in a call out situation?
Yeah.
We're gonna send him in as the house. We're gonna let him look at the fucking game. We're gonna let him pick who he wants, which at one point was Logan with a bum leg for about 3 weeks. That's a big reason why nobody took a shot, because everybody knew that would be a call out, and Logan at 60%, There's nothing he's beating him in. He's not beating him in a puzzle. He's not beating him in anything physical. He's not beating him in the thing he did with Corey. So that would have been A, someone that we're working with goes home because CT calls him out, and B, CT comes back. He's pissed off. He is experienced in this game. He wins again, and then we're fucked.
And
so it would have had to, we could have done it, but we would have, it was calculated risk for me.
Yeah.
And call it delusional, call it whatever you want. I firmly believe I could beat CT in a final. If we don't switch to partners at the very last stage, I have a half-hour lead. If that's just no partners, go up, come down, and the whatever, I can't talk.
Cumulative.
The time stays running, I win by 15 minutes at a minimum.
And then you would have the option on whether to split the money with second and third. Nice. CT gave you 100K. Well, he gave you and Emmy 100K. He gave Kyle and Tori 100K, which I thought was amazing and lovely to see. And we saw all your reactions. And I always love when a final ends on a positive note. Truth, Devin, if you'd have won, how would the $1 million have been split?
Tori and Kyle get 100. Maybe 125. Casey and CT get 50 or 75. Reason being, I hadn't watched the season, so I'm in my head already. I had known what I was going to do, and Kyle's my number one, absolutely no doubt, has helped me in this game in several different ways. Tori, my number one. So then Casey and CT on that lower tier of directly impacting me in this game. So I thought at that time. Watching it back, CT helped me a lot. And Casey helped me a lot. They're probably all even there. But at that time, I would have done it that way. I don't really care. Like, I don't need to have a lot of money.
Yeah.
I really don't.
Beer's not that expensive.
Yeah, I really don't need to have a lot of money. I do pretty good, like, just kind of chilling. So I'd have split it up for sure.
I like the way your brain works with that. And one thing that your brain is needed for, because it wasn't on this season, I was so upset, it was a trivia challenge. And obviously George needs a drink.
Fuck, Levi, it's my turn. Because we don't have long left, this is going to be one question and one question only for trivia.
Wait, hold on. How did this turn on me?
I'm wearing I've drunk a bottle of wine and I'm wearing a shiny jacket. Okay. This was
vodka Diet Coke. This is my fifth one. I'm going to open it so you know it's new.
Yeah.
I'll down it if I get it wrong.
So or
if Devin gets it right.
I have 6 questions here, and I'm really hoping I'm picking the most biased one to Devin. Devin, I've seen a photo of you at a Red Sox game recently. Are you a Red Sox fan?
Yes.
Brilliant.
Some kind of joke.
Yeah, get fucked, Levi. When did the Red Sox last win the World Series?
When did they last win?
1976.
No.
I always fuck up the date. I know when it was, but I always fuck up the dates.
All you have to do is be closer than Levi.
Oh, no, I got to get it right.
Okay.
I think it was.
Yes, you do.
I think it was 2017.
Ooh, that is not what I have. But I'm going to double check so it's not rude.
What do you have?
I had 2004.
Oh no, they definitely won since 2004. No doubt.
Oh no, sorry. Yeah, 2018.
2018. Fuck.
So you know what, Devin? I'll take the hit.
Yeah, because Jackie Bradley Jr. and Mookie were all on that team. I should have known that. 18. I was between 18 and 17.
There's a very nice photo of you that made its way to the Reddit of oh my god, it's actually still. That's not even a surprise. I was joking. It's you and a fan on the Red Sox watching a Red Sox game. That's how I knew you were a fan of it, and that's how I decided. Have you next that already?
Yeah, that was impressive.
That was quite good, actually.
That was on Marathon Monday too, and at that moment in that game, it was in the 9th inning. I believe there was 1 out and 2 on, and in the next play, the guy hit a walk-off, so they won. Nice. And that was in the ALDS. Games they never thought it could have won. It was the most fun I've ever had at a sporting event. It was an incredible game. Great fun.
So before that last drink fully kicks in,
that's going out your eye.
Sorry, that was animalistic. I think the only thing we can say is, Devin, it's always a pleasure with our new tradition of a Devin Walker podcast every season. We loved having you on. It's been great to chat to you. You're going to be on next season?
It's hard to say. If they call, I'm there.
Well,
Awesome.
we hope
I don't have a
will.
ton on my calendar, so I'm in.
And where can people follow you on your socials?
MTV Devin Walker on Instagram, MTV _, I don't know. MTV Devin on, I don't fucking know. Just Google search Devin Walker. You'll figure it out.
Yeah.
And buy the t-shirt, so at Wear Devin Walker.
Which,
yeah,
if,
I'm
if
going
you're
to
in
make
the,
a couple new ones.
yeah, which if you're in the UK will be available soon through me and Levi.
In 2022.
Oh, by the way, I'll tell you my new shirt design. It's just a shirt, and on it, it says 0512 1016 1002 1014 0621. So you can get that shirt if you want.
I'll be honest, because we got distracted by how entertaining the first half of this interview was. We wanted to talk about the final more. Awesome work on the entire last memorization thing. That was a very nice little like whacking a dick out moment.
I feel like he gave you the 100 grams just for that.
Yeah.
If I had won, so our strategy, I got like 2 more minutes, and then I got.
You're a lovely man.
So if I had won, and our strategy there was, we're not beating them in a foot race. Make sure we got the fucking code right. What they didn't show is that you were only allowed to type that code in 3 times.
Oh
If
shit!
you got it wrong after 3 times, your ass had to go fucking back.
Oh shit!
You only got 3 checks. So Casey and CT, I believe, got it on the 3rd check. And then after there was already a winner, I don't know if there was still the 3 rule or not. I think Kyle and Tori got it inside of that, but I wasn't there, so I don't know. Our strategy was, if they both fuck this up, we win.
Yeah,
I was thinking that when I watched it.
Work smarter, not harder.
And if they there's a chance with 10 digits apiece, someone fucks it up. Like there's a decent chance there. I was actually surprised that both teams got it straight away.
Yeah.
How long was the climb up and the climb down?
It was probably round trip 90 minutes.
Oh jeez.
Hour up, hour 10 up, 20 down. Because you were moving on your way down, but it was steep, so it was hard to climb, and it was really fucking hot, and we had slept for 2 hours in that cave, so it was tough.
And pooped in there.
Yeah, and we took shits in there too.
You realize that an original question wasn't in the recorded part.
It was that last one I downed. It's really messed me up.
Oh, that's for everyone. Yeah.
No context shit chat is actually fuck it. No, you don't want to know.
yeah, you don't want to know what happened. But yeah, that was it. That was the moment we were waiting for. And had I done it, I had already planned it out in my mind. It was going to be a full nude walk up.
Yes.
It was going to be a 150% full $1 million birthday suit walk up straight to that fucking thing. No doubt. See you later, microphone. Bye compressions. Your boy's going to get this fucking diamond ass nude. That's a promise. Was going to do it. So it would have been epic if I had dropped a fucking 20 piece on him and then gotten fully naked.
Yeah.
It opened the door.
The main thing I've learned about you from 2 interviews that we never see on TV is how much you love getting naked.
I really like to light it up.
Well, do you know what, Devin?
Light it into bananas. And we'll finish on in a classic.
And a fantastic season, Devin. 3rd place, but let's be honest, number 1 in our hearts. There's only one thing for you to do next season, and that is improve and hit that 1st place. And speak of improvement, last season you gave us a 92 for the podcast. Did we improve?
It was an 89.
I'm trying to bump us up, George.
Oh, right, liar.
I was going to say, I rarely give a 92, but you just got one today.
Whoa.
Devin, you did get an A-. The questions were phenomenal. Can we talk about the transitions for a minute? Hello.
Segues are our favorite thing.
Unbelievable. So well done, gentlemen. Pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me. Thanks to everybody on Reddit. And congratulations on literally nothing ever getting through the web of Reddit undetected. Congratulations to the investigators out there that put the pieces of the puzzle together that I don't even pick up on. Cutthroat thing, mind blown. Had no fucking idea.
3 very special people helped us keep this podcast going this season. Can you wish Brian, Ryan, Lauren a Merry Christmas, if that's okay?
Brian, Ryan, Lauren, have a Merry Christmas. Let's go, baby.
Let's go. Now, Devin, you gave us a 92, but for this season, we give you 100. We give you an A+. Thank you so much for entertaining us all season. And fingers crossed, Devin Walker is on the next season. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you again next season.
You will, gentlemen. Thanks a lot. I appreciate
you.
Woo!
Take care.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Devin, what an absolute legend. And all I've got to say, thank you to Devin Walker. But most of all, to be honest, George, thank you to you, because with everything that's happened with me recently, you've held this together. I know I keep saying it. Thank you to Brian. Thank you to Ryan. Thank you to Lauren. Thank you to everyone who's been on this podcast this season. This is our 50th episode. This is the last episode of the season. Big heart there for those of you that are watching.
It's really hard to do.
Yours is a circle. But yeah, George, thank you so much. It's been great coming back this week. I kind of felt like I was ready to do it for the final. It was kind of a milestone I was going for. It's great to see you again.
Always a pleasure. Also, happy 50th anniversary, buddy.
Oh, stop it, you flirt.
That's gold. If you combine all of my friends' relationships, doesn't get close to that.
Oh, well, George, as I keep saying, it's been amazing doing this podcast with you. It was amazing to have Devin on today. It's been an amazing season. It was an amazing final. Next week, everyone except for me gets to look forward to the reunion, because I hate the reunion episode. But yeah, thank you so much for staying with us this season, listeners, because it's been a difficult one for us and you've just kept us going. So thank you so much. And George, anything for you to say?
Nah, Merry Christmas, fuckers. Have a wonderful that wine's gone straight to my head. Have a lovely evening. I'm going to bed.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Always, I know we're in the off season, but Challenge All Stars is on Paramount Plus. Continue the conversation over on Reddit. If you want to chat to us, it's at Challenge React over on Instagram. And
lovely to have you back. Lovely to have you back, Levi. That's the main important thing.
Lovely to be back. And I'm not going to be leaving you with a preview of next week's episode. All I'm going to say is thank you for listening, and we'll see you next season.